let down, frustrated, bitter. That's just a few of the feelings that an average student enrolling in university trying to get a loan feels. One of the things I felt when I was trying to take out a loan for university was just, can I even do this? Can I even pay this back? Is this worth it? And it got me thinking about the cost of education and the issues that modern day college students face when it comes to trying to get a loan. The more I looked into it, the more discouraged I felt. But then I remembered there's a little hope out there, and there's certain things that we can do to make the situation better. So I'm going to talk about a couple of those things today. So to begin, the Education Data Initiative reported 6 out of 10 students graduate with a bachelor's degree have debt. That's everyone. I mean, that's your sister, that's your friend, that's your brother, that's your mom. Millions of students have this issue. So it's a real problem. The rising cost of college can be associated with some of the federal debt and the federal increase in education that has been going on since 1933. The Education Data Initiative reported the average debt for a bachelor's degree is $37,348. That means college students these days are graduating with almost $40,000 in debt just for trying to make a better future for themselves. What kind of life is that? That's not fair. The student federal loan debt has accumulated to $1.78 trillion. That's insane. The predatory lending effects also primarily target low-income students who come from backgrounds that will not be able to support them in the loans they take out and set them up for ultimate failure. The debt cycles continue and their futures are put in jeopardy. So some of the causes behind this can be associated with the Great Recession. CBPP reported that state funding per student has fallen by 16% since the Great Recession, leaving students to bear the cost through higher tuition alone. So colleges have increasingly put money into administrative problems and are leaving students on their own to handle these issues they face day to day by themselves. So another thing to keep in mind is that they're paying these coaches, these professors, higher salaries than ever before. The College Post reports that administrative spending has grown 61% since 1933, which is far outpacing investment in instructional resources. That's just sad. So this can be associated with something called administrative bloat. And so administrative bloat is basically the effects of pouring money into other costs. So football teams, professors, research, things that aren't going towards the student's cost of education. Paying tuition, but where is it really going? Why is that cost of education rising, right? Another factor for this would be the federal costs. So federal money has not been going into colleges for quite some time. Federal funding cuts have been just going up and up as the years go by. Colleges are getting less and less money, and they are having to make students pay higher and higher tuition rates. So another key issue facing modern day college students would be exploitative lenders. So the Partnership for the Public Service Law states that private lenders target students with loans that lack repayment flexibility or income-based options. This leaves borrowers vulnerable to financial hardship if they can't make payments back. So an income-based opportunity or income-based repayment plan, that's going to look like something based off of how much they're making when they graduate college. How is it fair that we have students who are graduating college with plans to become a teacher, paying back as much as students planning to become engineers? We need to make adjustments to these repayment plans, and I think the federal government should be a part of that policy. So some of the solutions, like I just mentioned, would be restoring public funding, having the government increase the money they put into universities, curb administrative spending, less money goes to the football team, less money goes to research, and regulate private lenders. Stop that exploitative funding, right? That exploitative loans. So state funding, like I mentioned, the federal government. CBB reports California has had lots of success with lowering tuition, lowering the costs. and they have been able to just increase investments in public education all over the state. So another thing that we could, possibly improve to regulate would be administrative spending. So, for example, the Partnership for the Public Law Service Law explained that if we spent less money on the administration, we might be able to lower that cost of education. So another thing that could really improve the situation all around would be to regulate private lenders. So private lenders are able to raise the interest rate as much as they like. If we had a federal policy that lowered that interest rate, made it more standardized, less however much they feel, that would really improve situations for students coming from low income backgrounds who have no prior association with debt, have no idea what they're getting themselves into, no family to help them out. If we could just make that student loan cost a little cheaper, a little more standard, maybe then we could have an idea what we're getting ourselves into, right? So in conclusion, there's a couple things that us as citizens can do to make the situation a little better. So we could contact lawmakers, contact them, write them emails, write them letters, just say, hey, this needs to be something we see change in. We can support advocacy campaigns. There's lots of hashtags you can use on social media to improve the situation all around. We can also educate our peers. So, speak up when an issue arises, state your opinion, learn as much as you can. Help the people around you not to accumulate such debt. So, in conclusion, higher education should lay the foundation for success, not a financial trap. Let's take action to ensure future generations have access to affordable education without fear of predatory lending.